Hello everybody and welcome to the fairly chilly office today. Andrew is sitting over to my right, Chris is over to the left. We are very chilly. The office today is 55 degrees because the heat does not work, unfortunately. But we are back. My name, like I said, is Connor. Over here we have
Andrew. And tonight we're building Giant Killer. So this is a gaming computer designed for 1440p gaming, coding, and just general use, looking up recipes, directions to Chick-fil-A, that sort of thing. So, the main point of this computer is strong enough to handle Cyberpunk 2077, which is a common theme recently.
good game.
Also Fallout, Witcher, Battlefront, I assume Battlefront 2, Battlefield, Python, and Matlab. Lots of things. Battlefront 2 is still a good game, by the way. Have you played it?
It is, yes,
I love
it is.
It got better. A good long-term upgrade path was important, so pretty much all these components will be easily upgradable later on. So we're designed around a AMD Ryzen 5 5600X, that's a 6-core 12-thread CPU, one of AMD's latest offerings with a high IPC for good gaming performance, better than Intel. That'll be cooled by a Be Quiet Dark Rock 4.
That got punted by FedEx.
FedEx? Just the box.
Just
the cooler's fine, it's just the box. Those will both be installed in a Gigabyte B550 AORUS Pro AC motherboard. One of our favorites around here. Good motherboard, good stuff. We're installing 16 gigs of DDR4 3200 Team T-Force VULCAN Z RAM. We have two NVMe SSDs, HP EX950s, a 512 gig for OS and applications, and a 1 terabyte for games and other installs. And then we also have actually today we'll be installing the user's previous GTX 1080. This will be upgraded to an RTX 3060 Ti as those become available. We'll let you know when we do. We'll also be using an EVGA G5 850 watt power supply. Thank you. And a Corsair 4000D Airflow black case with some Phanteks fans that we've pre-installed in there. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started while Connor gathers his screwdrivers that he lost.
I think we need one too.
I'll take a ratchet. So yeah, it's been a while since we've been here.
It's been a hot minute. It's been, last stream I think we looked it up was December 18th. So we are,
yeah, that's,
yep, 2-ish months.
well, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
7, going on 7.
It's going on 7.
Of course, mostly due to the ongoing shortages with respect to computer components. We don't really have any special magic way to get 13080s. If we do, you can buy one for close price. Just kidding. Yeah, hard to get. Mostly graphics cards, CPUs.
Yep.
Sometimes motherboards.
Yep. I wonder if this is a B550 that supports ECC. Because apparently that's a thing now.
Yeah, they all, even since like B350, they've all, it's supported, but it's not
active, right?
No, it's active. It's just not validated. That's the word I'm looking for. So, unlike Intel, AMD chose to leave that feature enabled on their consumer boards, and pretty much that it's there. It should work. It's not validated to work 1000% of the time as like a workstation board might be, but it's definitely there. So it's a little thing of like, well, why would we turn it off? It doesn't hurt us to leave it on, you know.
Exactly.
At Intel.
ECC, for those of you that do not know, is error correcting cores or code? Code. I think it's code.
Yeah.
And basically, it as computers are 1s and 0s, if a 1 and or a 0 gets flipped, then it can
or just any just general errors.
Yep.
Much. It can detect. If it's a single bit error, it can detect and correct it. If it's a 2 or more bit error, it can detect it and alert the computer as necessary.
Yep, and that basically leads to less crashes.
Yeah,
because
in theory. What am I looking at? An 8-pin?
8-pin, single 8.
Single 8. Okay, just one.
Like I said, it is a little chilly in here, and my fingers hurt from like snapping open these.
Yeah,
it's like, ow. You know, it's just in the cold, everything just becomes sharper.
Yeah, like when you've been like doing something outside in the cold, the task gets more and more frustrating as you get colder. So your fingers don't work as well when they get cold and numb. Oh, it's the worst.
Yes.
All right, so
I think I mentioned this earlier, but I have a buddy who lives in Oregon, and he doesn't have a heater in his room.
Is this who I think it is?
No, I don't think so. Well, he has like a personal heater, but he doesn't have like, you know, house heat.
Like central heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he does a lot of overclocking, and when he does all of his overclocking, he runs all of his benchmarks in the dead of winter, where his like ambient temperature is like frigidly cold.
Yeah. That's cheating.
Hey, it's kind of smart. I mean, he's also suffering at the same time.
Yeah.
He's sitting in like 3 degrees Celsius cold.
Yeah, there's always the joke of like, oh, you can use your computer as a space heater. But for the most part, a space heater is like 1,500 watts, 1,500 watts.
Yeah.
Your average gaming PC is like less than 500.
I mean, hey, our stream computer, Chris could probably use as a space heater over there.
If we had a 3090 there, it could really space heat.
True. Speak of Chris, we got a new camera, which means we now have...
Okay.
Mind you probably can't hear him because the microphone's over here. That's a flaw that I just realized, but...
The mic is not gonna work. Well...
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, there's a slight flaw in this, in the sense of we can see you, but we can't hear you.
If there's an easy solution you're not thinking of, Chris can just learn sign language.
Yeah, exactly. Or he can just scream really loud, and I'm sure it'd come up.
No, the mic isn't through control.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're the only ones in here, and we don't have a game. Ow!
It's one of those you have to pry these things out. Oh,
yeah.
that hurts.
You good?
Yeah. I knew as soon as it was tight that was gonna hurt.
Yeah. When you pulled it and then it hit, did it hit your knee?
No, it hit my finger.
Oh, I thought it hit your knee. I was like, oh.
I'd rather it hit my knee, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm thinking fan sign off.
Speaking of that, have you played Cyberpunk yet?
I have, yeah. I didn't finish it. I played it a fair few hours.
I finished it on accident.
On accident?
Yeah, it was one of those missions where it's like, I knew I should have saw it, and I won't give any spoilers, but it was like, hey, you know, starting this mission is time sensitive, and you will not be able to complete any side missions or anything like that until this mission's completed. But the way that it was phrased, I full on thought that I was just like, oh, it's just a timed mission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Huh. And then it was like, it just then snowballed and snowballed, and I was like, oh, I'm in the end game now.
Yeah. This isn't really spoilers either, but I got a little bit into, probably not too far, into the Keanu kind of stuff. And it got a little weird, and I wasn't really enjoying it as much, so I gave up, but...
That's fair.
It was right.
I did enjoy it, though the new update, like, royally broke the game.
I think if I got further in to the point where you can, like, free roam and do whatever you want, I would enjoy it more. But...
Yeah, I highly suggest, if you do not have Cyberpunk, probably waiting. There's a lot of updates and glitches and things. Mind you, I played it with ray trace, because that's my first game that I ever played that was ray trace.
I was too.
Looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I was pretty much 1440p like maxed out.
See, I did ultra wide. I did ultra wide 1080, but it was also full ray traced, and it was still pulling like 100 and some odd frames.
Is your ultra wide? Is it 3440 1080?
No, it's 2560 1080.
So it's like the 1080 1440 like weird child thing.
Yeah, but it is 144 hertz.
Yeah, so is mine. I have 1440p 144.
Hey, Andrew,
yes.
you want to check the chat on YouTube?
Yeah, I got it. Here we go. So new PC has a Chinese accent. I mean, it depends on what you're playing. For most people, the 2070 Super, especially at 1080p, will be plenty. But with pretty much any graphics card now, it's a matter of finding what's in stock for a decent price.
True.
But I'm guessing you'll be playing like 1080, maybe high refresh. So probably 2070 Super would be a good bet.
What was the question?
He's building a PC 2080 Ti or 2070 Super, basically. Although it's going to be a pretty weak CPU by the look of it. It's a V2 Xeon, so it's Sandy Bridge, I think.
It's an interesting combo.
Maybe that's Haswell.
X79 was...
X79 was Sandy Bridge, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't that going to run into some bottlenecking issues?
Yeah, if you go too high, yeah. I mean, pretty much, okay, so like, even a 3rd gen Ryzen can like bottleneck.
Oh yeah.
But it depends on what you're doing.
I mean, my 6700K would bottleneck the 3060 Ti. Like
that would probably
by 20%. It was pretty substantial.
Even if you use the 2060 Super, you would probably still get more frames by upgrading. So it's technically a bottleneck, but like it kind of always exists. It's kind of weird. Anyway. Okay, power supply is installed. Let me be a nice guy and run this 8-pin up there for you.
Yeah, because I got all the M.2s.
Did you put the 512 in the top slot?
I put the 1 terabyte in the top slot.
Can you put the 512 in the top slot?
Yeah.
The top slot.
Oh yeah, yep. For some reason I was like, the more, the better. But then I forgot that I was like, oh right, it's. So for those of you that do not know, this is a great learning tip to eke out the little last bit of performance on this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hold on, the screw. There it is. Like, where did that screw go? This top slot up here, at least on the B550, I can speak to that.
It depends on the
570, I think, too.
It can even depend on the actual motherboard itself. I checked the manual before we started on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this one, how the actual drive communicates with the CPU. This bottom one goes through this little area down here, which is called the chipset, and then it goes directly into the CPU, or it goes to the CPU. This top one just goes directly into the CPU, bypassing the chipset, thus being just a little bit faster, but not fast enough that it's worth ripping apart your current computer config.
Yeah, it's just a minor optimization, pretty much.
Yeah, you're talking like basically within negligible measuring performance, but in theory it is better, and it actually, I believe it's more stable too.
In theory.
In theory.
There's less steps to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of makes it stable.
There's less extension cords, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Alright. Those out. Need those.
And now would be a great time to also mention that we will be back. We are back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We have about 7 pending builds right now, if I recall correctly. Right? 7, 8? I don't know.
That was 7.
At least
6?
a few.
There's a lot over here.
There's a lot of pending builds coming. And we have at least 2 lined up? 3 lined up.
Yeah.
3.5.
Possibly one on Friday,
Yeah.
another one on Monday, and then another one
And
the
then-
last Friday of the month.
Yeah, so we have 3 lined up right now. 2.5. We'll say. Because the Friday one we don't actually know. I have to duck down beneath our light to see Chris's face right now, so that's why I'm looking.
Didn't think of that one.
I did not think of that one. Alright, all of that is installed.
Would you like the case?
Yeah, alright, we'll take the case.
24 pin on the back there.
Nice. Been playing like a bunch of Apex. as of
Apex.
late.
I've been back on the Overwatch. I got my friend re-addicted to it. He used to play a ton, and then he got banned for toxicity.
Why is it? I have those kinds of friends too.
Okay, it is incredible. It doesn't usually happen to me in games, but with Overwatch, something about it. Because you can be having
Just triggering.
You can have the best game of your life, and if someone on your team is not carrying their weight, then you can lose. And it's very triggering to lose your SR.
Yep. No,
But I've got him re-addicted, and he no longer talks to the team in the team chat. He just listens, and so far it's going well.
No, what my friend he always gets chat banned.
Yeah, he got chat banned like twice, and then the third time they were like, "You're done."
Yep, he got that happened. But he mains Doomfist. Oh, can I have the box screws? Or did you?
There should be in the drive bay.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He always plays Doomfist, and he has his punch ability
Yes.
mapped to the NDC voice
Oh,
line.
yeah. I have that voice line too. Doom was a better character to main like a year or two ago.
There's so many cables in the way, and I'm trying to do this without dropping this thing.
I think we're expecting a new hero to be added pretty soon because there hasn't been one in like almost a year.
Also expecting Overwatch 2, but that'll
No, we're not really expecting that. People are
be 2022 maybe.
Yeah, the BlizzCon stuff was saying.
Hi.
I see it, Chris. I see it. At BlizzCon, there was like a press release that was like probably not this year. There we go. 1080p is what yeah, 2070 Super will be plenty for that 1080p stuff. It'll be good. No need for a 2080 Ti, I'd say.
Oh, they now individually bagged these.
Individual like that.
Oh no, they have. They've already have. They always have. been so long that I forgot Corsair's packaging.
Yeah, so Phanteks has a little plastic thing.
Yeah,
Corsair puts those in bags. Who's the one that just cut and tosses them all in the bag?
Also Phanteks.
Oh, okay. I guess it just depends on how high end you buy.
Yeah, I think also Phanteks does.
That's funny that the guy in chat was saying he has a Chinese X79 board. I bought a X99 board off AliExpress like a few days ago. I think it was $80 with shipping. X99. It supports NVMe and all this stuff. Just to try it. So I'm gonna, if it shows up, basically, I'll buy a CPU and some RAM and give it a try. My hope is that it will work well and I can get like a, I think the lowest end CPU on 2011-3 is 6800K. I could get something like that for like $150 and replace the 2500K that's in my home theater PC.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I'll let you know how that goes.
Do you watch Austin Evans?
I've seen a few. Not really.
So he does a series called Wishtory Tech, which is where he buys tech off Wish and then reviews it, whatever.
Yeah.
But one of them he did, which is one of a few episodes ago, is he bought a. It was called a CPU combo, and it showed like the motherboard, CPU, RAM.
Yeah. I saw those on shopping.
It was like $800, and he's like, okay, that's actually kind of a good deal. So he buys it, and only the motherboard shows up, and he goes into the description and says, this is the motherboard only. And he just read the title and then added it to cart.
Yeah, you gotta read pretty hard. They have a lot of combos up there that they're like refurbished. They're like X79 boards, and like the boards are new, but they pulled the chipsets off old boards because Intel doesn't make that chipset anymore.
No, I've seen those.
But they have Linus and Steve have both made videos on these. They're kind of unique.
Unique.
But then they also support like NVMe drives, which wasn't a given back then. But they have the board, like 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and then like a Xeon like V3, which is, I think it's Haswell era. It's either Haswell or Skylake. So like 5 years old. That's very, very interesting stuff on AliExpress. Can't recommend any of it, but very interesting.
Yeah, AliExpress and Wish are always a little...
Wish is basically just reskinned AliExpress. Let's be honest. It's basically the same.
It is.
It's coming on the boat. 2 months. Good luck.
That's on up there.
So in a minute here, I'll reintroduce our build.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty simple one.
Yeah. Okay, long enough. So this is... So today we're building Giant Killer. This is a gaming computer designed for 1440p gaming, coding, and other general reuse. Looking up recipes, directions to Best Buy, browsing AliExpress for weird motherboards. So the main game, of course, targeted Cyberpunk 2077. You need lots of computer for that.
You too.
Yep.
You really do.
Fallout, Witcher, Battlefront, Battlefield, Python, and Matlab. So we'll be replacing the current card that's going in here, which is the client's existing GTX 1080. We'll be replacing this with a 3060 Ti. Once we can get one of those for less than a 3090 is supposed to cost. But yeah, we also currently have the 5600X, B550 board, Be Quiet cooler, 16 gigs RAM, dual NVMEs, all that good standard stuff. Kind of standard fare for what we like to do. I'm going to pull this out so Connor doesn't crush the cooler. There we go.
Oh, was it on the floor?
Yeah, it was under your chair, basically.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
It's okay, you know, in our hiatus, we forgot how to build computers.
Yeah. I had to put it in the GPS how to get to the office today.
Did you really?
No.
That's funny.
I almost did for the other place. It's been like 5 or 6 months since I've been there. But anyway, so yeah, good general use computer, can pretty much do whatever you want it to. What's other funny uses for a computer? I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking of. What's another funny use?
Bitcoin mining. Doge mining.
Maybe Dogecoin. Yeah.
Doge mining? I don't even know if Doge mining is profitable. I think it may be.
Well,
is it hardware? Well,
first you have to, because Ethereum just changed to proof of stake instead of proof of work. So I don't know which one Dogecoin is. But
what does that mean?
So proof of work means that, hey, my GPU calculated, or whatever, ASIC, computed this hash that is an address for, you know, a share of a Bitcoin. Proof of stake it's very interesting. It's almost like interest. It says, hey, I hold 100 Ethereum in the wallet on my computer. And then your computer in the background is helping to confirm other network transactions. And based on the amount of Ethereum you're holding, you are quote-unquote mining more. You're getting paid network fees for transactions.
The more you know.
So pretty much you don't have to like run a GPU for proof of stake.
And these are all cryptocurrencies for those of you that do not know. Cryptocurrencies being virtual currencies, truthfully.
Yeah, decentralized virtual currencies.
And how you can get them for free is actually using your computer to mine, what's called mining them.
Free.
Yeah.
Power.
But
Yeah.
it does use power, and it can not lower your computer's lifespan, but you know, it's kind of like a car. The more you run it, the less reliable it'll eventually get, because the more miles you're actually putting on it.
No, you can run it in a way that won't really do that. Like if you lower your power target to 60%, but then you earn less money, so on and so on.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But you haven't been able to mine Bitcoin with a computer for a while now.
Yeah, but yes, you can still invest in that Dogecoin. This is not financial advice. Let's throw this out.
It sounds like Connor might have some Dogecoin and he wants it to rise. Very interesting.
I actually sold all of it.
I sold my Bitcoin this morning when it went up because I felt like it was going to drop back down some. But anyway. So yeah, if you haven't heard of crypto, you probably live under a rock. And I bet you also haven't heard of GameStop. Which is basically over now, I think.
Yes, it is.
I didn't touch that because I was scared, and I was right to not touch it.
That is very fair.
Yeah.
No, it was really funny. I was trying to explain cryptocurrency to my dad, and he's like, well, what is it? And I was like, well, it's just kind of a virtual currency that just states that, yes, you have cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't like that. He's like, because then that's just like someone telling me. I was like,
okay,
that's what stocks is. I was like, you're just buying.
Here's my
virtual part of it.
If you have a bank account, they do not have all the cash to match all the accounts they have.
That's true.
They have a ledger that says, okay, Connor has $10,000 in his account.
Yeah, and they have to.
You don't have dollar bills assigned to you. You know.
Yeah, true.
Basically, the same idea.
Same concept.
Actually, if you have a local crypto wallet, you have more of a assigned currency than you do in a bank.
But it's just so funny because he's like, I don't like that, and I was like, but that's what stocks are. Like you're virtually telling someone that, yep, you bought a part of the company.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. When Bitcoin was like 4,000, I helped my dad buy $10 worth, and now his is worth like 90 or whatever.
My dad went through and he set up his old computer to actually, well, it was actually a relatively new computer. It's just he couldn't use it yet.
Yeah.
So he set it up to mine for a solid 2 months straight. But then he lost he had a fair amount actually.
He lost the wallet key or whatever.
Yeah, and he actually had. I mean, he didn't have a full Bitcoin, but I think he had almost a. I don't think it was a quarter.
What year was this?
A while back.
I was gonna say it had to have been.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, he's like, man, I really wish I could find that. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, people are dumpster diving for their old hard drives. I have 100 Bitcoin.
Yeah, because that would be worth what?
They're about 40K each right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that guy who bought, I think it was 10,000 Bitcoin. He bought 2 pizzas from Domino's.
I remember that.
Yeah, poor guy. I mean, it's not really much you can do about it to look back and laugh, but still, that sucks. Alright.
This computer will not be used to mine Bitcoin.
I mean, it
just
can
went
be.
Off on a tangent.
It can be. I just wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, that's also very true.
So yeah, we have lots of pending builds. Hopefully we'll get more graphics cards available online or parking lots, whatever. We're not picky. You know. Yeah, I mean, the issue is there's a few you can buy, but they're all marked up way past what they should be, and it just makes it a sticky situation. You're basically paying double sometimes. So. But anyway.
Yep.
We've been ranting about this since literally September.
We really
when
have.
the 3090, 3080 came out. So. Yep.
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 That's the.
I gotta think of another tangent.
That's the mood. Just yep.
Pretty much.
Just yep.
There are more games coming out soon. There was Cyberpunk, and now I don't know if there's. I'm sure there's some.
This was one that I found. So the developers of Sea of Thieves
Yeah.
are developing basically the same game, but in space.
So space engineers.
Kinda. But it's basically the same concept of like Sea of Thieves, but just in space. And I was like, wow, that's kind of fun, but at the same time, that's
Kind of a money grab.
just the same game in
Yeah.
space.
Whatever.
I don't know. I enjoyed Sea of Thieves
Yeah.
when once they actually added content.
Since the offline TV Rust server started, Rust got a big spike in users.
Rust has. I mean,
We were-
that's gotten also a lot of like YouTube content and
Yeah.
Twitch content as well.
Which we're on kind of another break now. Well, me and my friends will play like 3 to 5, maybe like 3 to 4 Rust wipes in a row, which are usually a week long, and then we'll take a break for a few months because it gets very tiring. Like
because you're just doing kind of the same stuff.
Not even that so much, is that if you're not playing 6 to 8 hours a day per person, you're not advancing much at all. Especially compared to other groups who are playing 12-hour days or more.
That's fair.
So, Rust gets very exhausting, but it's still fun.
Yeah, I've gotten back into Apex, which has been actually quite enjoyable,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
Didn't they nerf someone? I saw memes about someone finally getting nerfed. And I'm like,
Yeah, they added a bunch.
Something
so they do
grappling
different
hook.
seasons,
yeah,
and then that's when they add all their updates and things.
kind of like
And they're-
Overwatch. Though.
Yeah, and they add all their nerfs, buffs, all that kind of stuff, all in just one big kind of update.
Yeah.
That way, you're not changing things halfway through a season and you kind of just
Yeah,
get wrecked by, the nerf hammer.
Yeah, I saw something. It was probably like 2 or 3 months ago now. It's like grappling hook nerf.
Oh yeah,
Whatever that was. Let's hear your thoughts, Connor.
good old Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, he's like really, really, really mobile, and they basically doubled his. It's like Widow's.
Cooldown grappling. Yep.
Yeah, so it's Widow's grappling hook, but
They doubled the cooldown. You said.
Yep.
Okay. I
Again,
played.
They do. I will say they do actually do like legitimate and good balancing efforts, which is surprising.
Yeah, with Blizzard's just kind of like, let's try this.
Yeah.
The last things they literally had on experimental mode for like 2 days, and then they pushed it live. It was like, yep, looks good. It's like, wait,
I mean, I will say it is better than like Destiny's, because Destiny's is like, oh look, one thing's overpowered. We'll just make everything else more overpowered to equate to it. So we now have. We'll finalize cable management once we drop in the GPU. But before that, I'm going to install our cooler because I almost forgot about that.
We need that.
That would help a lot.
It will turn on, but not for long.
Yeah, there's no like big games that I was like, super looking
I
forward to.
don't know if there's anything big that's been announced that's coming out.
I mean, it's not really that time of year for that.
It feels like it should be all year though.
I know.
I mean, in fairness, they can't keep any graphics cards, PS5s, or Xboxes on the shelves still. So
True.
I guess there's no really incentive.
Buy a console then, or buy a.
You can't.
Yeah, true.
You can buy a last gen console.
You could.
PS5s are still reselling at like $750, $800.
They're coming down. Those are dropping pretty quickly.
Slowly. But I think Sony's making a lot more than those, and we're getting 3080. So
Yeah, very, very true. Because I mean, like you and I talked about this on stream last time as well. Of like they have to basically for a 3090, they have to make it like almost perfect. And
yeah,
same thing with the Ryzens, is they have to be perfect. There can be no sectors that are dead. There can be no, everything has to be perfect for it to become a 3090. And then if there's an issue with it, then they just cut that core or that sector out, and then
and then there's also just
down.
like Sony is just. They plan and are paying to make way more consoles than 3080 or whatever. But interestingly enough, both the current, I guess, next-gen consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox, Xbox One
X,
I
think.
But isn't there also an
Yes, One S. That's a smaller version.
Okay.
I think.
Anyway,
I think you guys.
all of
can
those
correct me in
new
the comments.
consoles are running AMD APUs as their CPU/GPU. That's what they're using is AMD chips, basically. Their version of Ryzen chips.
And APU is, I don't actually know what it stands for.
I can't remember what the A stands for.
Basically, it's
It's a CPU with a GPU baked into it, basically. Which technically, like all Intel CPUs are APUs, but minor details. But yeah, so that's also kind of hurting, is that they're competing for the same fab space of Ryzen and some GPUs in some cases. So it's just, many issues: economics, supply chain,
supply
demand. It's many issues coming together to kind of screw up gaming for the last few months.
But we're here. We've been scrounging by. We're not done yet.
Yeah. You took the plastic off the cold plate, right?
Right there.
Okay. I saw it when you picked it up a minute ago. I was like, I should remember to watch it. It's not that I don't trust you. It's that I don't want to take it off later.
Yeah. That will actually kill the CPU.
Well, I would catch it when in my bench testing, but I don't want to have to.
Well, the reason I say that is because that's happened to literally one of my friends.
If you don't take care of it immediately, yes, it will kill it.
He's like, yeah, I don't know why. There's like a weird, like, kind of like plasticky smell, and then like, you know, it just died, and I was like,
Yeah, it keeps shutting down. I'll turn it on, and it shuts off after 30 seconds.
And he didn't tell anyone that it was like crashing. He just brute forced, like, just restarted it.
Yeah. Yeah, not good times.
That's a solid oof. Oh, I'm going to unplug that and plug that over there. I had one of the fans plugged into the pump header.
Ah, that's another thing I don't want to fix.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's a common one though. I feel like motherboards didn't used to have as many pump headers, but now they have like an AIO pump and a water pump header.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like, I feel like there should not be a pump header on a B550.
I think you should just have an AIO that can also run a pump if need be. I don't think it needs a dedicated water pump.
But I mean, like, you know, B550 is it's the not as feature rich.
It's enthusiast, it's just not upper end enthusiast.
Yeah, you know, you're dropping some features, but
barely
most of them are
any.
ones that you're not gonna use.
You're barely dropping any. Most of it's just you don't have the most amount of anything.
Yeah.
Lanes and IO.
Yeah, lanes and IO.
The changes, yeah, pretty much just lanes.
But if you're liquid cooling, i.e., having a water pump, odds are you're probably getting just the highest end for
yeah.
Because
using an AIO on B550, I'm fine with that. If you're going custom loop, just get an X570.
Yeah.
Because if you want to upgrade later, it's gonna be
Where did I put the little things? Are they all here? No, I know one of them flew off. But I mean, at the same time, B550 versus X570 overclocking. I feel like X570 would win just because of...
My issue with that is that overclocking is so useless now. You get such marginal gains. Because the turbo boost frequency boosting has gotten such a point where it's like, there's barely anything else to squeeze out of it. And when you do, you have to do like per core overclock instead of just set your base clock higher and good luck.
It's fair. I mean, I use Ryzen Master and that actually works surprisingly.
The one Usmus Ryzen utility thing just updated within the last week to support and optimize for 5000 series Ryzen chips. Mm-hmm. And that does per CCX overclocking, I believe.
Interesting. Yeah, I threw one of the little clippy dude things
I'm trying
on
to
the
look
floor, and I'm annoyed.
I do not see it.
Because, like, these things... Oh, there it is. It blends in so well.
Yeah.
Our floor looks exactly...
We should put white carpet in.
We should, honestly. Like, tight weave white carpet. That way you can never
can we
lose
get,
them.
like, shag carpeting?
Oh, no. You would lose so many screws.
Yeah, but it'd be cool. You just get a magnet later and just... Unless they're not.
They actually sell those, and I was gonna buy one
Yeah.
for my workshop at home because it's in my garage.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a push broom, but instead of the broom, it's just a big magnet across
Yeah.
it.
No, that's the advantage of using like steel case ammo, is that you can magnet it. But anyway. All right. We're ready for a graphic card.
Yep.
Cables.
What?
I missed the cables.
I already showed them. I showed them off at the beginning
Yeah.
Oh,
before I added the cooler.
Yeah.
You're late, Chris.
They were on the camera.
cool, cool.
Alright, slot this bad boy in. Fire it up. My contact. Oh, cable. The graphics card cable's like blocking me.
Ah, that makes sense.
It's
Yeah,
still
one of them got
blocking me.
pushed like back inside almost.
Yeah. Bring that down.
Yeah. Andrew and I struggled drastically
There
on
we
this
go.
case before
The
stream.
front, the front.
Because we didn't read
panels-
the instructions and we just pulled the man card of like, oh, we can just brute
Well,
force it.
it's-
We know what we're
It's
doing.
the same on every case.
It's
I've
the
ever used.
same on every case.
The
It
front
wasn't.
panel is just kind of dumb.
The front panel is a little different on this one, and it.
Well, when I was trying to install fans in it,
Yeah.
I could get it all fine. It's getting back on.
Yeah, getting it back on was interesting.
This other screw back in. I'll plug it in.
It's been a while since I've honestly monologued.
Yeah.
Like, I can't really think of anything because nothing's really happened.
Yeah.
At least
Nothing-
here with us.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing has, which is good, bad. You know, depending on.
I heard some speculation that newer releases by Intel or AMD and NVIDIA are going to be like way more heavily delayed than normal between generations, just because
Stock.
if you're insta selling everything you make now, why would you release something new?
Yeah.
It's not free to release your product.
Nope.
All right.
R&D and development and all that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
like,
Marketing.
you know, we can't even. I would say we are probably some of the people that actually get these products more often than consumers and things, just because we deal with a lot of clients and things that use them, but we can't even get our hands on them.
I mean, we could, but not for a reasonable price.
Yeah, not
most
for a
of the
reasonable
time.
price. And there's no point of releasing a new one, like you said. Oh. Hey, I plugged in the power cable correctly.
Yay.
That's a plus. I remembered how to do that, at least.
Come around the side so I can see. Okay, DRAM, CPU.
I see RGB on
VGA.
the card, so... Yeah, adjust this camera.
DRAM is doing some memory training. VGA.
Oh, wait. Oh, I gotta add a Be Quiet screwdriver to our collection.
Ah, yes. Boot. Hooray! Alright,
There we go.
so
More
yeah,
Be Quiet screwdrivers.
there we go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Alright, everybody. So with that, we are going to end this stream, even though it was quite short, but it was still a behemoth of a system. Some could say even a giant killer of a system. No, that was a stretch.
It was
I
a
gonna say
giant
but then
Killer giant killer.
Yeah, it was a giant killer, and then I was gonna say giant, but then I was like, oh shoot, wait, it's a giant killer.
I
That's
mean,
an
it's
issue.
a mid tower. Anyway.
Hey.
So, if you guys enjoyed watching this, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, catch our live streams,
Tough.
as well as check out our website, topflightpc.com, where you can,
No, so not on the shirt.
where you can see all our builds that we've ever done, and as well as any upcoming and their full parts list, all that good info, some pictures, money shots of computers. Yes,
Yep,
we have
and that'll
Aaron
be
in
the finalized photos of this once they're all done.
Yep.
And the glamour shots
We'll
will
have
be
those
up
soon.
on the website and on Facebook as well.
Yeah, once you give us some good old installs and drivers and benchmarking, all that good stuff. And we have Aaron in the chat. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Aaron. So yeah, it's a beautiful machine, and I believe this Friday,
Potentially
we'll
this
play
Friday.
again.
Yep.
85% chance.
80, yeah. Decent chance. Decent chance.
All right, cool.
And on that, we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.